I think that hot dogs are the closest thing to an American sushi that we have.
I hope no one else is doing a bit, but I'm doing a bit.
Daddy's got a pod.
I'm Casey Kasem, and this one's for the perverts.
Join us in our strange ritual.
That is time traveling love smut.
I can only say horny in one season opener.
A medium amount of fun and an extra large amount of sweaty.
From the minds that brought you Giraffe and Amerisaur.
No regrets, no masters.
I got dick jokes to make, man. Leave me alone.
This is good. This is good for anyone.
This one's going to be weird. I'm very interested to see where this goes.
Hello and welcome to Debate This. It's the show where no one is right, but someone is definitely wrong. I thought I would change it up.
What is that inflection? It's the show.
It's the show.
It's the show where no one is right, but someone.
In this show, we take time out of our busy adult lives to talk about comic books, video games, and how the MCU is just fully past like the 10 years of, oh, wasn't it great when? And they've just completely skipped ahead to the Netflix revival phase of their media empire. I will explain. So we were talking about this before the recording. If as of today's, I'm timestamping this date, July 28th. Yesterday, Twitter and by way of the San Diego Comic-Con announced that Robert Downey Jr. is going to be playing Doctor Doom, and the internet is very mad.
He got his Oscar, and now he's getting that bag again.
He got his Oscar and really was like, I'm free from Marvel.
Yeah.
I'm doing other things. And then he's like, but wait, the Russo brothers have called me on their emergency.
Yes.
Todd,
phone.
what it was his Oscar promo tour was all like, no guys, I'm a serious actor for real.
Wink.
Yeah.
And now he's getting that money again.
He got an Oscar for lying to everybody and saying he was retiring from the MCU. So we're not going to talk right now about RDJ as Dr. Doom. We're going to save that for the post show. Patreon.com/debatethiscast. Got it in one. But what I do really want to explain this is the way that it was announced, like the overall vibe of the SDCC series of announcements was very much like, all right, guys, remember the MCU?
Yeah.
Don't worry, we're doing it again. It had like big like Will and Grace is coming back energy.
Remember that thing that technically is still going.
Right.
The last one you all universally loved was only 4 years ago, and we're bringing it back.
We're so back, guys. It's the MCU.
The only thing I want to talk about right now, and like obviously we'll save a bunch for the post show. Hey, listen, they've put enough zeros on Harrison Ford's paycheck that he was excited up on stage and said adamantium. He's been interviewed about Star Wars shit for decades. It's been like, I don't fucking know, get out of here.
Whatever
but
they get,
paid him enough money.
Whatever above over-the-counter drugs that they gave that man to get up there and pretend to be excited about being Hulk but red.
They broke down how many helicopters and weed he can buy with the paycheck they're giving him. That's really those are Harrison Ford's two real passions.
Helicopters and weed, yeah.
Also, they could announce that Robert Downey Jr. was returning as Stephanie Tanner in Avengers: Fuller House.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
On that note, hey, welcome to episode 150.
Balloons and confetti.
Kind of a crazy milestone. And when thinking about how do we celebrate episode 150, what is significant about the number 150? There are no drugs that are connected to 150, so the next best thing is, of course, the number of Pokemon in the original Pokemon games. Comma, base game only, not excluding anything that you can get behind a truck. So,
man, what a
that.
specific brain itch that is.
That's for 7 people. And so to celebrate this momentous occasion, I thought that we could all jump back into the cartoonishly large shoes that are Pokemon gym leaders. Now, before I go any further, yes, I know we have run this play a few times before. Bear with me for just a second. So, dating all the way back, if you can believe it, to episode 10, please ignore the Zangoose P.
My God.
What a title.
Babies. That was the first time we each donned the mantle of gym leader. And then we did it again in episode 27, Gyarados Gym for Gyara Bros. We did it yet again in episode 90, Giovanni's Persian is a Thanos simp. And then finally in episode 101, Mr. Mime lays eggs.
What a story we've told.
But don't worry, much like RDJ back in the MCU, it's gonna be different this time.
I do
quick.
not remember at least 2 of these episodes.
No, I think I remember all of them, but real quick, the fact that we only went 11 episodes before running the play again probably says something about us.
Yeah.
Says more about us than it doesn't.
Yeah. One of them was like we were doing internships with gym leaders. We weren't being the gym leaders, so
okay, that one does. I remember.
I just
that
really
being
like the title name.
distinctly different.
It was distinctly different. We were just talking about gym leaders.
Yeah, it's a big Pokemon year.
It was a big
Pokemon year. It was also because I think that was when Scarlet and Violet came out.
Feels right.
And Arceus came out like about that amount of
about that time
apart from it.
It was actually a big Pokemon year.
Actually a big year for Pokemon.
Now, today we're going to blend 2 worlds that have probably never been blended before. So we're going to be mixing the easygoing, carefree world of Pokemon with the even easier and more carefree world of Disney Channel original movies, or DCOMs for short.
If any other podcast has blended these 2 worlds before, I'll quit the show.
Yeah, call us.
Yeah. I'll plant that flag in the ground.
Yeah.
I would like to listen to that episode, so send it our way too, please.
What's that, listener? You don't know what a DCOM is? Well, have I got great news for you, because once a month over on our Patreon feed, yes, that's correct, that is patreon.com/debatethiscast, we, all 4 of us, host a show where we watch and break down a new DCOM every month. Right now, we happen to be halfway through our Hot Girl of the 21st Century summer event, where we're watching all 3 Zenon Girl of the 21st Century movies, the Zilogy, the Zenon trilogy. That show is called Deconstructed, and it's really fun to record. And if you're not listening on the premium feed and you have an affinity for Disney Channel movies, you should check it out. It's been a really good time. That said, joining me on this delightful jog down memory route 1 are Kyle, "Twas the Corvin Knight" Harper, Todd, "The Luck of the Frillish" Thomas, and Matt, "Tailoween Town" Cole.
Andrew, these are
pretty good.
I'm kind of really proud of these.
I think that this is some of your best work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I saw Tailoween Town first, like scrolling through the notes, and I was like, these are all really good. They're all really good.
Thank you. Some of my most inspired work came out of my post $200 worth of Magic cards purchase glow.
It's that post-nut clarity.
Yes, that's kind of post-nut clarity. All right, let's get into it. So, gentlemen, as the foremost experts on vintage Disney Channel original movies, Debate This as an organization has been tasked by Game Freak LLC to lead the creative execution of this once-in-a-lifetime collab. So tell me, what DCOM character you think should be made into a gym leader in the next major Pokemon title? From there, give me the movie they are from, any relevant background info, as well as their partner / their signature Pokemon. So we're not going to go through the whole thing. Just give me the highlights. Give me the title card, effectively. Kyle, let's start with you.
Yeah, Andrew, as you brought up in the setup here, I'm going to keep Hot Girl of the 21st Century summer going.
Hell yeah.
My answer is going to be the precocious teen who lives on the space day, Zenon Carr. Zoe Carr. That's weird.
That's her
my favorite Nickelodeon show, Zenon 101.
That was good. Yeah.
Thank you.
For those of you not listening to Deconstructed, Zenon Carr is a precocious teen who lives in space, who has twice, as far as we have watched, saved the space station from crashing into Earth and killing her family and friends. Chances are she's going to do it a 3rd time when we watch the 3rd movie, but we haven't watched it yet, so I can't say for sure.
Check in next month.
She also might be an alien?
Also might be an alien.
Yeah.
Check in next month.
Check in next month.
As I said, Zenon is a precocious teen who gets into all sorts of antics and trouble as she breaks her way into restricted areas of the space station, causes shenanigans for the people who actually live and work there, then saves the day because it's a Disney movie, and that's what happens. She is going to be a gym leader on a space-themed gym with her signature Pokemon Clefable, who she's raised from a tiny little Cleffa.
Oh, I like that. Okay. Interesting. Not an immediate space themed Pokemon, but I get where you're going. I can start to see the threads. So
Yeah.
very cool. Todd, let's go with you next. What do you got?
I think when you look at the gym leader archetypes, that we need some more lighthearted Pokemon trainers that really are just full of heart. So, for every Lieutenant Surge or Giovanni, we need our Brocks. We need our Misties. And that's why I'm bringing Andy Brinker from Brink.
Okay.
DCOM, per our ranking, a top third movie, Brink. And he's going to be an early gym leader for our trainer to meet up against. I'm not going to go too much into Brink. I think most people are familiar with Brink. Skateboarder, has to save the town doing a skateboard. That's the story of that movie as I remember it, because I didn't watch it with you guys. But he's full of spunk. He's full of wicked moves. He is going to bring a skateboarding / Team Pup and Suds themed gym to reflect his story in the DCOM movie Brink. So we needed the right partner Pokemon for him. Now, I get it. With the newest Pokemon games, you might be expecting, like, what's a Pokemon that, like, a wicked skateboarding kid, Extreme X Games kid would ride, and you'd think, like, a Koraidon or a Cyclizar, but that didn't feel right. And so instead, we're pairing him with a thick old Whirlipede. He's just that thick little whirly bug thing. I think it's a bug.
Yeah.
Let me check Bulbapedia.
Hold on, I gotta Google Whirlipede real. Oh,
yeah. It's a roly poly.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be his partner Pokemon. It kind of reminds me of the wheel enemy from Kirby.
I was literally, it's definitely the Kirby wheel for sure.
I'm gonna drop a biblically accurate Whirlipede into our notes real quick.
Biblically accurate Whirlipede. Oh god, I don't like that. I would have probably said the evolved version Scolipede, but it is unclear if that just giant 8-foot monstrosity centipede can roll up into ball. So we went back one evolutionary step, and so. Whirlipede. Whirlipede is his opener. It rolls around. It's a whole. He's got spunk. Whirlipede's got spunk. Everyone's got spunk.
Yeah, I like it because, well, it most importantly, it fits the theme. But a partner Pokemon rarely is like the strongest one. It's kind of like more like the mascot. So having a not fully evolved version feels very right for.
Yeah.
Well, and I've got obviously 5 more Pokemons on the bench, but
sure.
I Googled skateboard Pokemon.
Yeah.
And all I got were skateboards with Pokemon images on them, like tech decks.
Reasonable.
And so the next closest thing I could find was like Pikachu surfing, which didn't feel right either. So I'm not sure how in the thousands of Pokemon we've got keys. Keys are a Pokemon, but there's not like a skateboard Pokemon.
I Googled skateboard Pokemon as what like a divorced dad in 2002 said at work one day to like try and relate with his coworkers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you probably got the same return that I did of like, really? Okay.
Yeah. I will say, had you done Johnny Capahala from that other movie that's Brink but in the water, you could have done
every
a whole
Pokemon
surfing
has
movie.
surf.
Yeah.
Every Pokemon does have
my ender would have been MissingNo because he can learn anything.
I hate the way that you say MissingNo.
I'm
and
sorry,
I forgot
that's the
about
right
it.
way, and you can sit there and be wrong.
It sounds like a pasta dish.
What it's one word. If you're gonna say MissingNo, that's wrong.
I think Todd is right. I
Don't do this.
Oh, it feels bad, but it's so right.
I will name this episode and Masinga was his name-o. I swear to God.
All right, I would like to pass.
You passed your turn. On your end step, I will comment
Shut
that.
up. No.
So I was racking my brain to think. I was like, man, I know that there had to have been a skateboarding gym leader before. There's a couple extreme sports gym leaders. There isn't. There's a rollerblading gym leader from X and Y. Her name is Corinna, and I've put her in chat.
Let me see what her lineup is.
Her whole deal is she has rollerblades and a helmet. That's her personality.
Yeah, and that's okay because no one remembers anything about
No.
X and Y.
You know what's funny? It ended up, like, for a long time, it was like my favorite one, but that is an absolutely hot take. I understand that.
It is a fun entry. It's very easy. I just remember just breezing through.
It defined what is modern Pokemon. Anyway, let's go to Matt. Matt, what's your DCOM and who you bringing to the table?
Yeah, so I'm going to break form. The other two guys both did DCOMs that we've already talked about on Deconstructed. I am going to change it up, talk about one of my personal favorite DCOMs that we've yet to watch for Deconstructed. It's called Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off.
And we never will.
I can't stop getting this confused with 100 Deets for Eddie McDowd. I don't know why.
Those are very
know it's
similar
different.
titles, but
Wow.
very different movies.
Yeah.
This movie, now I want to relate it so that everyone is on the same page, is the same as another DCOM we've already watched. Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off is literally just motocrossed. But
Which is literally just Johnny Tsunami, which is literally just Brink. Yep.
exactly. Instead of the competing lifestyles being riding a dirt bike and being a girl, the competing personalities are baseball and cooking. Eddie's dad wants him to do one. He discovers a love for the other. At the end, he finds out he can do both. There you go. End of movie.
Matt, how much sexual tension is in Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off compared to Motocrossed, though?
Not none. I don't think
Okay.
I don't know that it would ever come close to what I assume is the peak sexual tension of Motocrossed, but it is not none. There is not none sexual tension in Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off.
Another second question. So does that mean, is High School Musical just motocross with singing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to be
Okay.
Everything is Applebee's, isn't it? Is that
Well,
what
everything
It
is
kind of is
Brink.
everything is Applebee's.
Everything
is just different.
Everything
Brink,
is
yeah.
Brink. There are 4 plots to a Disney Channel original movie, and we've watched one of them.
We've watched one of them 18 times.
It's true. So anyway, it's one of those movies. You get it. This is baseball
Sure.
and cooking Brink. So we have this kid named Eddie Ogden, a boy who is both athletic and good at dressing up a hot dog.
I read that as dressing up as hot dogs.
I also read that as dressing up as hot dogs.
I mean, I'm here focused on my friend Matt and what he's saying. I'm lost in this visual story he's telling.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I don't know
Thank
what
you,
you guys are
Todd.
doing.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that support. Anyway, Eddie, along with his 2 best friends, a Pokemon Serena that starts with a T, but it's silent, and a Surfetched named Bobby Flay. Eddie is here to serve you up the best Pokemon gym you've ever seen inside of a Nathan's hot dog stand at Coney Island.
All right. I don't get the bit yet, but I am intrigued. And that's all I asked. That's
You know
all I
what?
asked for.
I'm going to lay some cards on the table here early on. The bit is food Pokemon. I finally watched that Brian David Gilbert movie video from
sure.
2020, and we're doing food Pokemon today.
Okay.
I don't like how I think the internet has probably sexualized Serena.
yes.
Probably, but that's not what
And I
we're
don't-
doing here today.
I know it's not what we're doing. I'm just saying the internet.com has done it, and I'm not excited about that.
It levels up when knowing the move Stomp. It's not great. Judging by your muffled laughter, you all know where that thought was headed.
Hey, Kyle, it costs you nothing to keep that to yourself.
It's true. You didn't have
But
to
it
bring
gave
that up.
me everything to tell you all.
Took from us everything.
Well, Kyle knows this. The other two might not, but every good Pokemon master knows that the first step in getting a Pokemon gym badge is to solve the puzzle or trial that matches the gym leader's very one-note personality in order to get the right to fight them. Right? In order to get into fight Lieutenant Surge, you got to solve a trash can button puzzle. I don't know what that has to do with Lieutenant Surge other than electricity, but that's fine. Or we had the warp panel mazes to get to Sabrina, which we talked about in that same episode. Or in the more recent game, we had an emote DDR challenge, which is the best way that I can describe that one, where you're basically you're playing a rhythm game, but you're just making like happy and sad faces with a
Oh yeah.
effectively like an emotional support coach
Yeah.
or like a vocal teacher.
Yeah.
New Pokemon is weird.
I don't know the game that you're referencing, but I
No, man, I
follow.
got
It's
nothing here.
it's a gym in Scarlet and Violet. I don't. Would you explain it in a better or different way, Kyle?
I haven't played Scarlet or Violet all the way through. I have
gotcha.
not gotten to this gym to
Okay.
help you out here.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Hey,
Kyle's
Matt,
a
do you
fake
hear
Pokemon fan.
Kyle's whispering to Andrew right now. I wasn't sure what he said. It sounds like he may not have played that game.
Yeah, it was a stage whisper only for me.
I am a fake fan. You're right, Matt.
So for this second round, tell me what hyper specific characteristic will your leader's gym magnify, and how will the trial that you set up reflect that?
Yeah, I want to start out to say this battle will be taking place on the space day. We're going with the like 90s RPG trope of like your first fight is with a tiny little Rattata, which is you're just fighting rats in your hometown. And then by the 8th gym, you are taking on God with the power of friendship. In this case, you're going to space with the power of friendship.
Well, and to back up Kyle real quick, if I've learned anything from watching 2 out of 3 Zenon movies, they'll send anyone to space at any time
For any
with
reason.
no concern of the cost or environmental impacts.
No.
Especially if you're willing to play music. Easiest way to get up there.
And if you're a teenager,
Especially
if you're
a tween.
they'll just send you up there.
Yeah.
It's like a flight to Dallas.
Yeah, they don't even need to hand you off to an airline like person. It's just nope, get on the plane, you're good.
So in addition to making your way to the space day, to fight Zenon, trainers will have to break into a restricted area of the space station without getting caught.
Good.
Or they will have to battle Commander Plank. They will have to, quote-unquote, win a quote-unquote game that Zenon made herself without sending Commander Plank's entire office decor through an airlock.
Or Commander Plank at that
Or
point.
Commander Plank through the airlock.
Whole ass human.
And finally, they will have to stop the space day from falling out of orbit and crashing into Earth. And only then will you be able to battle Zenon
Incredible.
for your gym badge.
Kyle, would you do us the honors of giving us a quick TLDR on some of the finer plot points in case folks aren't as up on Zenon lore as we are at this current moment?
Yeah, just this is all ripped right from the beginning of Z2, the sequel.
The Zenoning.
The inciting incident that gets Zenon sent to Earth. No, not sent to Earth. Is she sent to Earth or just grounded?
She gets
We watched
grounded. No, it's
two of these movies.
yeah, I know they're too similar.
She gets assigned to listen to the alien
That's right.
radio.
She gets space
That's right.
detention.
Space
willingly goes to
detention,
Earth
that's
on this
it,
one.
yeah.
She gets
space
space
detention.
detention because she broke into a restricted area and played a game she made that she swears that looked more or less like Pong, but was actually controlling the airlock doors in the space station commander's
God.
office.
Such a silly bit.
It was a very silly bit and very fun, and really captures the precocious teen that Zenon Carr is, and I wanted to get that in
Excellent.
our gym puzzle.
Did I hear you? And did I understand you correctly? This is like effectively the 8th gym slot
Yeah.
of the game.
Yeah.
Okay, it definitely fits with the cadence of like by the time you do the 8th gym, you have already saved the world in that particular game
Yeah,
Yeah.
and met the legendary. So it's kind of like the victory lap. So that totally fits.
The save the space station from falling out of orbit part of the challenge is like 100% kayfabe. Like it's alarms go off in the gym, and she's like, "Oh no!" But like,
It really is more of a Disney or a Disney World Galactic Star Cruiser
Yes.
sort of a situation.
yes,
I will take every opportunity to reference the Disney Galactic Star Cruiser without reference or without context every time.
every time.
Word.
All right, Todd. What about you? What are we doing with Brink?
You'd reference some other Pokemon gyms. I'm familiar-ish with some of the gimmicks from the series, even though I've played like 2.5 games and they were all from the first generation.
Yeah.
So anyway, you enter the gym. It is a full-fledged skate park. Just like decked up, half pipe, little ramps, a third thing. So when you enter the gym, you see all this. To get past the various other trainers in the gym, you have to do, to get to Brink, obviously, you have to do a series of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater like speed and control tasks.
Hell yeah.
To get
Right
past
on.
them. And so every time you get to the top of the half pipe or a little ramp or like I said, a third thing, I'm sure, the trainer
skateboarding
a
thing.
third skate thing, enter here. That trainer is like, you've got to beat me at this thing. And so that's going to include doing you encounter one trainer and you have to do these sick in-air tricks, I guess, to get bonuses, and like it's a quick time event. You gotta press the buttons, land the tricks. Another one is you gotta grind a rail, so you gotta like balance to see who can hold it longer. And with each one of those, if you beat the trainer you're matched up against, you get an extra round of the attack before the fight starts. So you get an automatic little heads up fighting that little trainer so that you're not as worn down when you get to Brink. Thus, setting you up for just this better success when you get to the whimsical, fun skate park, I guess, in this world owner, Andy Brinker. So there's a lot of fun little like QTEs and rail grinds and a third thing.
Okay.
Is it clear that I've never been in a skate park before? I realize I've said this now
Crystal.
4 times.
Yeah. Could you tell me, Todd, any of the like the tricks that you'll do in these Tony Hawk like mini games?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Don't help
an
him.
ollie,
Nobody help him.
a 360, 720,
No,
a 900.
We're not going to count. We're not
No.
going to
1080?
count.
We'll give you one.
A 4. I didn't say 420.
420 is that
yeah,
not a
you
thing?
you do a 420. You smoke,
440.
You smoke a
440.
J while you're grinding a half pipe.
The Christ Air. I remember that one.
Hey, that is one.
that's
You got
one,
one.
Superman.
Probably one.
Mm-hmm.
5 for fighting.
All right. Let's
Goldfinger.
Yeah, great.
let's let
Johnny
Todd
was a
be
race car
free.
driver.
Okay, Matt, you go now. It's your turn.
Yeah, Andrew. So this gym is going to be a little different than some of the other gyms. And contrary to Kyle, where he's put together like the 8th gym, I'm looking at slot like 2 or 3. Now, as I said in the last question, Eddie Ogden's gym is going to be at the back of a Nathan's hot dog stand on Coney Island. And
Hell yeah.
that means that there's not a lot of depth to this gym. It's long, it's not deep. And so there's not actually a lot of space to fit other trainers. So instead of other trainers, if you want a chance to battle Eddie Ogden, you and your team of Pokemon got to get behind the stand and work through the dinner rush at the hot dog stand in like an Overcooked style minigame.
Yeah, good.
And here's the thing. It's going to be 3 rounds of Overcooked style madness. And you got to pass each round to get everybody cleared out so that Eddie Ogden has the time and isn't busy cooking on the grill to fight you in a Pokemon battle. And each round, one of the Pokemon from your team is going to join you behind the bar, and they're going to be your Overcooked assistant. They're going to help you with things. And depending on which Pokemon you choose, you know, if it's a Pokemon with like a really high agility, then it's going to move faster. If it's a Pokemon with really high defense, it's going to help things not back up as quickly at the order section. And I hear you asking, you're definitely asking, how will my Pokemon get worn down over time? Because that's kind of the thing with a Pokemon gym is like they tick you down to make the gym battle a little more difficult and strenuous.
You give him a cigarette break.
Well, instead of giving him a cigarette break, there's not going to be anything doing damage to the Pokemon except for you. See, this is Overcooked, and we're going to give you the option to do 1 point of damage to your Pokemon every time they mess up in Overcooked.
Okay.
And you choose how much of your Pokemon make it through to the other side. And anybody who's played Overcooked knows that it's probably not very many. That game, I think, leads to divorces more than
Much
anything.
like a shift manager, you get to wear down your employees just a little bit every time they mess up.
Yeah.
This is going to be the most rage-inducing gym challenge since Whitney and her Miltank. Except it won't be in the battle part of it. It will be in the part
in the
before
Overcooked
battle.
minigame.
Yeah, I get that reference.
Thanks, Todd. I like it. I like this for how painfully realistic it is. It also it kind of recalls what people tend to think is the most memorable of Scarlet and Violet, which is the normal type gym, where the whole challenge is you just have to order a dish. Like you just have to order something off of like a secret thing, like something off that's not on a menu.
Oh, you gotta go secret menu.
Yeah, like a secret menu thing. So I definitely am all in favor of like, you know, very out of the box, not necessarily like just doing a mini game type challenges. So yeah, these are all really interesting in different ways. But so let's get to the meat of this. We've done the trial, we've done all the filler, right? Now it's time for the main event, the final battle. The boss music goes on, the stadium erects up from the pocket dimension, And anyone that's played a modern Pokemon game since X and Y knows full well that the end gym leader, it's not just the last battle. That gym leader needs a last-ditch gimmick. They need a thing. They need a thing that's going to stand them out. Like Gigantamax or Z moves or Mega Evolution or the thing that they're doing now that I can't remember, the crystal thing.
Terraform.
Thank you. So tell me what the rest of your Pokemon team roster is going to look like, keeping a type or a theme at least in mind. And then tell me what your Act 3 gimmick is for your partner Pokemon, your anchor on your team. Let's go, Kyle.
All right. So, Andrew, surprise, surprise. We're going space theme for Zenon. So I already mentioned we've got Clefable. Clefairy, rumored to have fallen from the moon, according to multiple Pokedex entries.
Very good.
Mount Moon evolves with the Moonstone. Connection is obvious there. Similarly, we have Starmie, another Pokemon rumored to have come from space. It's based on a shooting star. It's another space Pokemon.
Yeah.
From there, we're gonna stretch our creative muscles a little bit here. We have a Porygon Z for a few reasons here.
Okay.
Porygon Z is the evolution of the fully digital Pokemon Porygon with a sinister upgrade. So I feel like that represents our girl of the 21st century pretty well.
Is that the smooth one? Is that the smooth Porygon?
It's the one after the smooth one.
Okay.
That's like the glitch one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there's Porygon 2 is the smooth
Oh.
one. And then Porygon Z is upgraded from that.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have a neck.
Yeah.
It looks like a.
It's like
it looks like
Rayman.
a.
It is like Rayman.
It
Yes.
is
like
Rayman.
It looks like a weather vane.
Yes. Rounding out the back half of the team, we have Gothorita. This is another Pokemon. It is believed to be from space because it arranges stones in the shape of constellations. What? Why are
Todd's
making
shaking his
I don't
head.
love that.
Yeah.
I don't love that.
I do know if you go to Applebee's on October 31st, you can get a Gothorita for $2.
All right.
Good. And then Minior it's a meteor Pokemon. It's a rock flying. It lives up in the ozone layer, and it's our meteor Pokemon. So we've got a little bit of a psychic theme going on here. We break form a little bit with some of them. But Andrew, our Act 3 reveal, our gimmick Pokemon. I know that the gimmicks, they're not popular. Mega Evolutions, people weren't a fan of. Gigantamax felt just like Mega Evolutions, but different.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're not going to do one of those as a gimmick, but we are going to give Zenon a legendary Pokemon as her closer. Okay. Her closer is going to be the confirmed alien Pokemon, the Pokemon from space, Deoxys.
Okay.
Legendary, psychic type Deoxys. And there's a few reasons for this here. First of all, it's the one confirmed from space. Can't say it any clearer than that. But the other one is we just watched Zenon 2, the sequel. Tell me this does not look like that alien spaceship that saves them all at the end of the movie.
Yeah, it
Look at me
do.
in the eye over this Zoom
bit.
call. And
It
tell
do.
me. The fun thing here with Deoxys is Deoxys has 4 forms. It has this normal form that I pasted in chat, and then it has a speed form, a defense form, and attack form. And you can guess like what its stats do when you change its forms. So the fun thing here is Zenon will analyze your team before you start the battle, and her Deoxys will shift into the form that counters your stat build to this point. It's the 8th gym leader. We gotta make it nice and hard and crunchy for you. So she's gonna perfectly counter your team with a Pokemon designed to change forms just to do that.
Okay. That's very cool. I like that. I like the theming. The Deoxys pool is really good. I don't know that I can see eye to eye with you on Gothorita.
Sure.
Yeah, I would like to talk for a moment. I have a problem with any Pokemon that evolves to be bipedal, mostly.
Sure.
Because the internet is undefeated in doing crimes. And I don't love that. And it's not your fault, but I don't love it.
I'm not going to be held responsible for the internet's crimes here, Todd,
Yeah,
because
you loaded the gun.
there would be a lot of Pokemon we had to take off the table if we had to answer for the internet's crimes.
Yeah, I'm just more like Gothorita is a really good pool. Gothorita is like the hot topic Pokemon.
Yeah.
No shit. I never would have guessed.
Yeah.
I think we are really glazing over Kyle's quote. There's a lot of Pokemon we'd have to take off the table if we had to pay for the internet's crimes. That might be
that's
one of the most
accurate.
sentient things we've said.
That's a door you want to leave closed, Todd.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to nail that door shut.
Yeah.
Speaking of doors that we nail shut and keep shut, Todd, what's your answer?
Yeah, so you already know our pal Whirlipede, but we got a whole lineup here. So Whirlipede opens up the fight. You're like, oh, sweet. Wheel-based Pokemon. I get it. So adding to a Pokemon but wheels kind of theme, we're going to run an Iron Treads. A quick Google search showed me that Iron Treads is like an elephant with big old treads. Makes sense. Rolls into a ball, and if it doesn't, then it looks like it does. Now, to pay homage to that simple hero origin as a member of Team Pup and Suds, we need a pup. We just need a pup. And so that leads the players to have to deal with an unfairly leveled Yamper. You need the cutest pup, and this thing packs a stupid punch. Now, this is where most Nuzlocke runs end. I don't make the rules here, but it opens up with Thunder, and it always gets the first strike. And a lot of Nuzlocke runs end here with this Yamper. It's a real bummer for them. So that is the pup. Now, after the pup, we need the N-Suds. And so that leads us to Dupiter, which is just like a spider with a little bubble on it.
What? There are 30,000 water Pokemon.
And this is one of them. It's got a bubble on it, which is the closest thing to Suds that I can get you.
There's no way there's not a Pokemon that's like Sudzor.
Fucking look for it. Look it up. Look it up. So you're going to hate this next one closer. Or you're going to hate this next one even more. So we get Dupiter, because it's just a little spider with a bubble on it.
I do like Dupiter.
I do love Dupiter.
Yeah. And then next up after that, we get Pyukumuku, which is, the internet has told me, is the closest thing to a sponge-like Pokemon that I can find. Yeah. Pyukumuku is, I believe, how you pronounce that. The internet has also told me that thing can make a giant fist out of its innards, which really makes me kind of look at it differently overall as kind of an Eldritch Nightmare situation, because I think it's in Smash Brothers that suddenly it just makes big old fists, and those are its internal organs.
It's based on whatever the sea cucumber is that like pukes up its actual innards to like distract predators so it can run away.
So yeah, it's kind of like circular, and that rounds up the N-Suds bit. So
sure,
we need the gimmick. We need the gimmick. We need the big
because we haven't
bad.
seen one yet.
Yeah, we followed a theme. We don't have a gimmick.
Okay.
And so to go back to that Pokemon with wheels, the gimmick here is that our ringer for the team is a Reveroom. Because what is better than we've got fun-wheeled Pokemon, Pup, Suds, fucking party wagon truck. And so here comes a Reveroom. And the gimmick here is that we're going to steal from I think it's the latest Pokemon with Team Star.
Yeah.
Where it's going to have the Starmobile ability that gives it the attack and the ability Wicked Torque. Because Wicked Torque is just a great name for an ability. Mm-hmm. And it feels like Andy Brinker, the like owner of this skate park, he's going to have a party truck that has an ability called Wicked Torque. Because he's got a dope-ass party truck. I don't know. That's what I got. That's the gimmick. It's a truck. You thought you were done. Here comes a truck.
I can only hear Wicked Torque in like a Boston accent. Wicked Torque.
Wicked Torque.
Yeah.
Here's your Suds. Here's my entry for your Suds, Todd. It's a washing machine form Rotom.
Shut up.
That's the answer.
That's pretty good, Kyle.
Yeah, I know.
That's pretty good.
The other push the glasses up my nose, put in my pocket protector, helping you answer, Todd, is there's a whole line based on mining carts. And the baby form is, that's
just
Rotom.
Morotom.
That's Morotom. Hold on. Let me get
Kyle really going out of his way here to prove he's a fake Pokemon fan. Tell you what.
Are Rotom's arms clothespins?
I did see this minecart thing. I did see this.
Roly-Coly. It's Roly
Yeah.
Coly.
Roly Coly.
I did
That
see
was my
this.
nickname in high school.
Yeah, no. Washing machine Rotom is very, very good. Which Rotom is motor backwards, which is fun.
Yeah.
This minecart thing I did see. I did opt for just like straight up wheel, just straight up animal that becomes wheel.
This is a wheel with an eye.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like it has a wheel. It looks like it's all stone.
That's
Wheel made of stone.
Two things. One thing.
Wicked talk. You
wicked
mean, is
talk.
that what you
Yeah,
wanted?
yeah. Wicked talk. This Rotom has clothespins for hands. Matt, it's your turn.
Yeah, thanks. Happy to be here. Now, I want to remind you, Andrew, that the whole goal was to put together like a themed group of Pokemon with like a type affinity, and they all kind of fit a theme.
Thank you
And
for reminding me what I asked. Yes.
Yeah, everybody else has been doing a lot of splaining, and I said up front I'm doing food Pokemon, and I don't think I'm going to need to do much splaining. So
I said at the top of my answer, the theme is space. I don't know how much clearer I could have been, Matt.
Kyle, shut up. It's not your turn anymore. So we start at the top. We start with Serena. Now, that's a fruit Pokemon. That's what the Pokedex says. I've done some Googling and learned that it's likely a mangosteen, but it is a fruit Pokemon. Yeah, okay.
We'll also step on you.
So then after Serena, we have the other one we've already met, Sirfetch'd, which is the evolution of Galarian Farfetch'd. Instead of just a sprig, he's got like a sprig sword and a shield. And remember, it's important that Sirfetch'd, we remember his name is Bobby Flay. Moving on, we have Appleton. Appleton is an apple pie Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
It literally says in the Pokedex it's an apple pie. So
It also sounds like a character from a Richard Scarry storybook.
It's Appleton, and it's a dragon apple pie.
yeah. Now we have my personal favorite of this lineup, Scovillain. Everybody, if you haven't met Scovillain, it's two angry peppers.
It's pretty good.
Scovillain's
is
pretty
really
good.
Scovillain's pretty great. And now we've got a gimmick, right? So you said we needed a gimmick. I was like, you're so right, we need a gimmick. What kind of gimmicks is Pokemon doing these days? And I found these couple of idiots. We've got Tetsugiri and Dondozo.
Yeah.
Tetsugiri and Dondozo are sushi Pokemon, and if you've got them out in a double battle, Tatsugiri will get in the mouth of Dondozo and give Dondozo a stat boost. So you've cleared out 4 of 6 Pokemon of prolific chef and okay baseball player Eddie Ogden, and he breaks out a sushi board and a sushi Pokemon, and then the sushi Pokemon gets in the sushi board's mouth and it's got bigger stats. And you're like, oh no, it's a shame that I've got a level 80 Caterpie just hanging out. Good luck.
I want to know what skills transfer from making hot dogs to sushi chef.
What is a cold hot dog than just the American surf and turf of sushi?
I think that hot dogs are the closest thing to an American sushi.
You can
that we
stop the
have.
sentence now, Matt. You can bail out of the
I said
sentence.
what
You
I
don't have to
said.
finish.
I said what I
said
said.
a lot of really cursed things. That's not the worst, but it's certainly among the top 20.
It's up there. Also, Matt, I have good news for you. There's a Rotom for you as well.
It's a Rotom for everyone.
This one's an oven.
That's an air fryer.
That is an air fryer.
Either way,
I like that Matt with disgust, who just called hot dogs American sushi. That's an air fryer.
Yeah, that's not an oven. You swine.
What you've said is ridiculous.
I stand by it.
Whew. All right. Well, did you need to square the circle on Bobby Flay, or are we just gonna leave that one?
No, we're gonna leave that one.
Cool. There you have it. We got a whole lot of Rotums and not a lot of time left, so we're going to take a quick break. Before we do so, let me just ask one final question here, and we will resolve it when we come back. So, gentlemen, we've gone through soup to nuts of the gym leader experience. We've got our 8 Pokemon badges. What's left? That is, of course, the Elite Four in the Pokemon League. So, when we come back, I want you to each pick another character from your chosen DCOM to be a member of the Elite Four, and then give me the Type 30. Who would their signature Pokemon be? What's their chosen type? However deep you want to get into their roster, that's on you. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
If you want to have your own hot girl of the 21st century summer, please go over to patreon.com/debatethis
Cast
and subscribe.
/debatethis
/debatethiscast and subscribe to join us on Deconstructed, where we will be watching all 3 Zenon Girl of the 21st Century movies this summer and talking about them.
See this Lapidus.
It's the Zillogy.
That's the thing from the show, Todd. It is the Zillogy.
Zillogy is what I'd scroll at night when I was longing for what houses I couldn't afford.
No, that's actually the religion that belongs to the website that you would scroll for houses that
Gotcha.
you can't afford.
Yeah.
You gotta have the right Zeton count.
Todd is a practicing Zillogist.
Yeah, what are your Zidichlorians like?
The stupidest fucking thing we're doing.
So good.
And we're back. Once again, that super secret bonus question is pick another character from your chosen DCOM who's going to be a member of the Elite Four. Tell me who their signature Pokemon is and their chosen type and anything else about their kind of whole vibe, starting with you, Kyle.
Yeah, Andrew. So I'm going to my Elite Four member, another cast member from the Zequel, the Zillogy, if you will, is none other than the first rock star to play a concert in space, Protozoa.
Good.
Protozoa is going to be our Elite Four member. He already dresses like one. He's got he wears awful futuristic quote unquote outfits, and he's got stupid hair and generally acts like a pervert, which checks all the boxes for an Elite Four member. And he's going to have a sound-based team. So there's a slew of Pokemon, usually that fall into the normal type, but sometimes branch out. He'll have a sound-based team, and his signature Pokemon here is going to be the normal type Exploud. And let me an image in here for the Todds of the world.
Thank you.
This is Exploud. He yells really loud. He evolves from Whismur and Loudred, who is like a little whispery Pokemon, and then like a boomboxy type of Pokemon. And this is Exploud. He explodes with sound, which I think Mr. Zoa can get on board with.
Perfect. Okay. Todd.
Yeah, not really a secret. It's Val. Val is kind of the enemy of the movie. They compete, yada yada. To remind everyone, Val kind of has 2 things that he cares about, I guess. His 2 sides of his coin are that he's in it for the money, and he's also kind of a racist. And so his Pokemon types are normal, but he's got a ringer that's a psychic type. And so I'm only going to give you 3 of them. So to reflect that the real villain is capitalism, he opens with a Meowth.
Okay.
That just kind of feels right. But to lean into the honestly not so subtle racism, because I think he tells Gabriella to go back to Mexico, which is a wild thing to say. Yeah. Meowth is followed up by a Zigzagoon. Now, you may be wondering what is racist about the Pokemon Zigzagoon. I think that sounds like a word that racists would use to call something really bad without saying the real word they wanted to say.
Todd's making up slurs today.
Val is making up slurs.
No, you're dropping a Z. It's not Zigzagoon, it's Zigzagoon. This one I'm sure about.
Sure, that one. Yeah, it could be a racial slur, I guess. Anyway, it sounds like a made-up word that racists would use to like be like, hey, look how we're being racist. Now, his ringer is a psychic-type Pokemon, and of course that's going to be an unknown, but it's the one that's shaped like an N.
Todd.
Matt.
Yeah, Andrew. So I know that nobody but
Thanks
me.
for putting that in there, Todd.
Welcome.
I know that nobody but me has seen Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off, so I didn't want to do some sort of like deep cut cast person that you would have to Google, or I'd have to explain a plot just to tell you who it is. So lucky for me, real life human being Bobby Flay is in Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off. That's who's joining the Elite Four today. It's Bobby Flay, because
is he really in that movie?
This is the bit here. This is the bit that's just been for me this whole time. This movie kind of sets up that if Bobby Flay didn't exist, Eddie Ogden wouldn't be into cooking. And it's not just because he saw Bobby Flay on TV once and was like, I want to be like him. It's because he bumped into Bobby Flay on the street and Bobby Flay was like, nah, kid, give up baseball, cook. And that's literally part of that movie. So Bobby Flay is going to be in the Elite Four. And I think that if Bobby Flay had a signature Pokemon, I think it'd be Snubbull.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know why that's right, but it's right.
And I'll tell you this, I was gonna go with Snubbull's evolution Granbull, which is a meaner looking Snubbull. And I read in Granbull's Bulbapedia entry that apparently Granbull's actually really timid and like Snubbulls are really angry and get up in your face, but Granbulls don't like to attack unless they're provoked. And I think Bobby Flay would be like a Snubbull guy, you know?
I swear to God.
Bobby Flay would be a Snubbull guy.
I swear to God, like a decade ago, I saw a like fan edit of like different celebrity chefs as gym leaders with a Bobby, like a pixelated Bobby Flay, a pixelated Guy Fieri, like, and I cannot for the life of me find it in Google right now, but so help me, I know what I saw and I know it's out there.
Are there any like mean birds?
There's a lot of mean birds.
There's a lot of mean birds.
Like
Like
whole
mean
bird
birds?
generation.
I know there's a lot of birds. I'm just trying to think of like mean birds. I think this is a pretty good match. I'm like, I don't know why this is the right answer, but it is.
That was kind of how I felt about it,
Is
really.
Bobby Flay also British?
No, he
he's-
talks like this. He's from
It's
He's
like
from-
he's just like he's here with us right now.
he's from one of the boroughs. Doesn't matter
Okay.
which one.
Okay.
Wicked talk.
Yeah. Whew, all right. Wow, we've done a lot of axes and we've said a lot of things today. Let's close this out with some final statements. Kyle, go ahead.
Yeah, Andrew. I'm gonna close this the way I've closed our last 2 episodes of Deconstructed. What we learned today is that being a plucky teen girl can get you out of almost any scrape, and you can save the space day while you do it. Cetus Lapidus.
Todd.
We need lighthearted Pokemon trainers that are just trying to save the town with the skateboard race. Nope, inline skating. Inline skating race.
I was gonna say, how long is it gonna take him to realize that Brink is about skating and
Man,
not
do you guys know
skateboarding?
how long it's been since I've watched Brink? At least 20 years.
Too long, because I don't think there's anything as explicitly
No, he saves
racist
the
as what
town.
you said in
He
the
saves the
last
town.
answer.
Yeah, same. Hard same.
Yeah.
Whew. 10 out of 10. Stuck the landing. Well done. Matt.
Hey, I put together a solid theme today, Andrew, and I'd just like to remind you of that. Food. Whole way down. Doing food.
You sure are. As we always say here at Debate This, I've got a lot to think about. So while I do that, and while I pretend like I'm looking other things and preparing my notes, why don't you guys say some good vibes to each other?
Todd, good job kind of remembering Brink from when you watched it 20 years ago.
When I was actually a teen.
You got the vibe. You nailed the vibe. And you nailed the wheel theme is the real thing I want to give you credit for here today. The wheeled themed Pokemon, it's a good gym idea. And I like what you did. I will ignore everything you said about Val in the super secret bonus question.
I blacked out. It didn't happen.
And only praise the wheel theme. And Matt, good for you for picking a decom we didn't cover in Deconstructed. I really like the cooking theme, and I like that you kind of tried to do the contrast with like a baseball theme too. Like I see what you were going for, and kudos, and I get it.
Thanks, man.
And I will find Bobby Flay as a Gen 4 gym leader sprite, or I will die trying.
Please do. We need something to put on the Instagram.
Okay.
Kyle, you always put a lot of deep knowledge and love to these ones. I'm reminded of the time that you put together a whole Thanos-themed gym.
Ah, that was really fun.
I think I'm still most proud of the facial hair themed gym.
That's what I
And
always
I was
remember.
gonna. You
Yeah.
took the words out of my mouth. That was still to this day one of the best. I do really love the idea that somehow Zenon, in her ever-growing grasp of power, is the defender of the space day. So like.
Yeah.
The hero of this story shows up and she's like, cool, I'm going to fight you with my god alien now.
Yeah.
And you're going to get whomped. And I think that's rad. I think that just follows her arc of just getting more and more and more powerful. Matt, food is a theme. It's great. It's great. It's great. And it's so good that I'm surprised it just hasn't happened already. I mean, obviously, there are food-themed Pokemon, and I'm sure at some point someone's had one or two. But a whole gym that is just a Ponderosa buffet is just really, really funny that they're busting out food-themed. And so the player, when they get to that, is like, oh, yeah, it's a food. Oh, yeah, that's a food, too. Oh, okay, yeah, sure, that's food. Oh, that duck's got an onion. It's food.
That
And
duck's
I think
got
that's
an
really,
onion.
really cool. Yeah, a duck's got an onion weapon. It's a leek.
It's a leak.
Yeah.
It's a leak.
Yeah, sure. Whatever. Fucking food nerds. Okay. Yeah, I just think it's great.
We were fuck you. Shut up.
Yeah, we all were right, including me. So yeah, I think that was great, Matt.
Thanks, Todd. I really appreciate that. Kyle, kind of like Todd said, every time we do one of these, I'm like, well, Kyle's got to be out of great bits. And every time you come in with another great bit, man, it's really impressive.
If I didn't have the setup, I wouldn't be able to come up with the bits. So
hey,
thank you for good
can't
setups.
set it and spike it. That's got to be two different people. So
there we go.
I tell you what, when you asked in chat, like, can we do legendary Pokemon? I was like, of course Kyle's bringing a fucking legendary Pokemon. But Deoxys as the ship that helps them in Zenon 2 is a phenomenal pull.
It fits really well.
That's very, very good, and I applaud you for that.
Thank you.
Todd, you did my other favorite, DCOM. Brink's the best. I can't believe you haven't watched it in more recently than 20 years, except I couldn't believe that until you gave your answer to the Super Secret bonus question, and I believed it very quickly. I also really liked what you did. I thought the wheel theme was fun, and you didn't do like a weird Hoopa Unbound thing this time. So
Can't run that play twice.
yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Legally,
too.
you can't. That was the deal with the restraining order.
Yeah.
It's bipedal. You know the rules.
Awesome. Very, very honestly, these were all really fun. You guys, I'm always impressed when I happen to host these. I'm always impressed by the pools that this group comes with from Pokemon games that no one has ever played and from Pokemon that no one has ever heard of. It is always a fun time to watch as everyone learns what the heck fresh hell Game Freak has created in the last couple of years without anyone really realizing, completely under our noses. With that, only one can win. First off, Todd, hey man, thanks for coming.
I got more wheels. I think I've hey, listen, what if I told you there's a Rotom that is shaped like a
lawnmower?
machine?
I will say I really liked the Whirlipede. That was a really fun, not super obvious way to bring in wheels. That was a great job. And also, like, your theme fits very well. That is a very, like, a prototypical, like, extreme sports Pokemon gym leader. That's an easy, like, first two gyms kind of a template. Great job. Unfortunately, not going to go with you. Kyle, similarly, I really like the space theme. I love the Deoxys pull. Very fun. The only reason that we're gonna go with Matt is we can't have another space battle. We've been to space too much. And look, if there's one thing, and to tie it all back to the MCU, if there's one thing that we've learned in Pokemon is we can't keep building up and layering on top. We have to niche down. That's why having a focused experience, like just doing an Overcooked in a ballpark, is going to be the direction that we're going to go. So great job, everybody, but specifically Matt for pulling it out today.
Hey, thank you.
Good job, Matt.
I finally did it. I beat Kyle in a Pokemon thing. I feel really good about that.
Yeah. And thank you, everyone at home, for listening to Debate This for 150 episodes. Oh my God. I cannot believe that we've been doing these many episodes, and we're still going strong and still having a great time doing it. So thank you so much.
If you haven't listened to 150 episodes, go back and do that.
Get on
No,
it.
start
Right
at
now.
like
We'll
80,
Yeah. Yeah.
70.
Yeah. Start like at COVID and then go from there.
Yeah,
That's
that
probably
works.
good.
It's like
What
season
a
3.
terrible sentence.
I mean,
yeah.
But yeah.
you know what I mean. Also, you can find us as normal on X, the Everything app, as well as Facebook and Threads and Instagram at debatethiscast or on our website at debatethiscast.com. We have pimped out the Patreon plenty today. So just one last time, if you are interested in DComs, if you like what we talked about today, check out Deconstructed. You can find it at patreon.com/debatethiscast. There you'll have access to the premium feed. You'll get all the backlogged episodes of Deconstructed, as well as backlogged episodes of The Office Drones, which was our 2-year-strong real play D&D show. Until next time, I am Andrew, beat Bobby Rayquaza Henderson.
I am Kyle, beat Bobby Flabebe Harper.
I'm so sorry.
I'm Todd. Ha Luca. Wing attack on that thing, Thomas.
That's good.
And I'm Matt. Find a one-legged pink bird behind your pickup truck. Call that a flamingo. Cole.
And we're saying thanks for debating with us, and if you think we're wrong, you can come fight us behind the swing sets, nerds.